Yeah. The Derby yesterday.
I missed 60 degrees.
Yes. Oh, no.
This is like.
I said, well, I was just saying how we were using.
Oh my God. Rookie mistake. 60 degrees.
Yeah, listen to John.
I will
No,
make
that's
sure.
good.
This is the
Hopefully
whole
it's spring right there. That little Wednesday, Thursday. It's gonna be all nice.
It was like 78, gorgeous stuff.
Yeah.
February. They have their.
Yes. You're so everything.
Yeah, they just were crazy.
I love that.
How are you?
No, I said.
You're a quarter of how.
You love a good Hey, Shereen, are you the captain? On your way out. Never mind, it's your.
Yeah, and then you can do whatever you want.
I had, it says yes, for things like, oh, and then I was like, I have that's extra, and he's like,
You can actually.
right now, you know, already
And then it should take you to just.
No, unfortunately.
Want to go back to the other school, just take your mouse.
Yeah.
Yeah, but switch it, I'll go double check it.
I see. This is, yeah, this is. I'm sorry. Oh, yeah, almost there. Close. Oh, I think I figured it out, right here. Did you? I did. Oh, I just went back.
Oh, it's
back up, yeah.
Well, and I haven't yeah, it
I read that, so whoever it was that you should have told me that. I know, I was thinking it was pretty good.
well, when we went down there last night, she's like, and then I learned somebody's there.
Just me.
I make.
Okay.
That's not. It's 5 o'clock. It's 5 o'clock, we'll call this meeting to order. Please stand for the pledge of allegiance. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Spring, can you do roll call of members, please? Greenway, here, Mueller. Here. Jill.
Here?
Sarda. Here. And Terry is absent, but we still have a quorum. So let's moving on to approval of the agenda. Motion to approve the agenda before us.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call please. Greenway. Here. Mueller.
Yes.
Jill.
Yes.
Sarda. Yes. Okay, we have item number 3, approval of the minutes of the last meeting.
Motion to approve the minutes of the April 14th, 25 regular school board meeting.
Second. Have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call please. Mueller.
Yes.
Greenway. Yes. Jill.
Yes.
Sarda. Yes. Okay, item number 4 is conflict of interest, and now is the time if a board member has any conflicts, either direct or indirect, now is the time to let us know. Okay, hearing none, we'll move on to the consent.
I have one with item G on the consent agenda.
Okay,
I'll have to remove.
and then we'll pull that out. Okay, no problem.
All right, I also am going to ask for item E as in Edward to be removed.
Okay, so we will vote on E and G after we take a vote on the consent agenda. Was there anybody else that needed to pull anything off? Okay, so with the consent agenda with the exception of E and G.
Motion to approve.
Second?
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call please. Mueller.
Yes.
Jill.
Yes.
Greenway.
Yes.
Sarda. Yes. Okay, item number E is Dave Greenway's work agreement amendment.
Motion to approve.
Second?
Okay, a motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call please.
Mueller.
Yes.
Jill.
Yes.
Greenway. Abstain. Sarda.
Yes. Okay, and G is for Clara Shields summer work agreement.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call please.
Mueller.
Yes.
Greenway. Yes. Jill.
Abstain?
Sarda.
Yes. Okay, there was a lot on the consent. Okay, now it's time for public comment. Shree, did we have anybody signed up for public comment?
No, we didn't.
Okay. Move on to item number 7, student achievement and good news. Melanie Riken and Sean Stroh will present.
Hello, so I wrote mine down tonight because with each day, I'm becoming a little bit more emotional. So if I read it, I'll be a little better. So here's some Webster happenings. It's very fitting, in my opinion, that Webster has good news to share tonight since it's the end of the year, and this will be Webster's last good news to share with the school board. We've had an extremely busy end of the year. More specifically, I'd like to give a shout out to our Last Hurrah committee who's worked hard at hosting some special events. Last fall, as you may know, we invited former staff members to take tours and share stories. A couple of weeks ago, we had another sort of Last Hurrah event and invited former and current students, staff, and families to our school. It was an unbelievably enjoyable night as we had a photo booth, bubbles, food trucks, boat walk, raffles, face painting tours, and gave pictures away. We listened to stories and laughed together. Our hearts were certainly full at the end of the night. In addition, we have continued combining our Webster and Stewart kiddos with one last assembly and had a sack lunch with them last week. We feel very confident they are more comfortable with each other and will feel at ease when August rolls around and they're all together in one building. Our Webster students and staff have completed many lasts this spring. We had an awesome Greatest Hits music concert, our last parent-child 80s dance, and our annual spring carnival. Our parent group also purchased a Webster t-shirt for every single student, nearly 400, and they all received a Webster magnet. On Wednesday, our YHS grads will walk through the building, and we will enjoy our last field day on Thursday. All that being said, this has been a very emotional last few months. While we certainly know the upcoming change is an incredible opportunity for our community, it is certainly difficult to end such a special chapter. Webster School has been a pillar in our community for 74 years. We will joyfully hang on to the memories and forever be grateful for the staff, students, and families that we had the chance to be with. On Friday, we will walk out the door with our students and feel incredibly proud of all the accomplishments and friendships made at our school. Please know we will forever be thankful for the Webster winners that we shared our days with. Questions? Something to make me giggle.
The math and the
Very fitting.
Thank you for doing that and making that special. It's a big deal when we close the school like that, no question. Okay, I apologize. It's dry leave. Sorry about that.
Perfect.
Hi, everyone. A lot going on here at the end of the year. I'll just highlight a few of the exciting things at Yankton High School. First and most important, the goal of all of our high school students is graduation. We have almost 200 seniors graduating. Graduation practice will be Wednesday. And as you can imagine, there's just a few last minute things to help those seniors get across the finish line. So I'm really just proud of our staff for going above and beyond to take these steps with our seniors these last few days in order to make sure we're where we need to be come Saturday. Prom, we had our prom take place on April 26th, 138 couples. A big thank you to our junior class advisors. It was quite something to see for the first time for me. A lot of students made good choices. It went very well. Officer Olson was the DJ, so it was fun for the kids to see him with a different job title. So that was neat. 3 main events for celebrating outstanding performance and awards. We had our athletic awards on May 1st, and that was really quite something for me to see for the first time. And we have our academic awards tonight, and then our fine arts awards on Thursday night. But getting back to the academic awards, it really struck me as just how supportive this community is through scholarships, through time, through support. It's just really, really neat to just see, observe, and watch how this community rallies behind our students. So that was fun, and I know it'll be very similar tonight for academic, and then on Thursday night as well. And then the last thing I'll just mention, preparation for next year. A lot goes into preparing for the next school year. As you can imagine, Mr. D's been working very hard on the schedule with so many moving parts that can prove to be a little tricky. Lots of summer school plans for students, and we're spending a lot of time on our intervention plans for students too. Those students who need a little extra help, a little extra support. Really proud to be a part of that as we meet the individual needs of our students. So many different options for our students as far as personalized opportunities, credit recovery, summer school, all those different types of things that I feel great that makes Yankton High School successful. So with that, any questions? Thank you.
Thank you. Item number 8 is under curriculum, and we will be talking about the social studies curriculum, guys.
All right, so for our social studies curriculum, yes, we just were approved and all of our resources are pouring in for social studies. However, we had to make an amendment to the middle school and high school curriculum guide. The OCHETI, Stockween Essential Understandings and Standards, they were just recently updated and improved at the state level. And that information is in the memo. So then our teachers, middle school, high school, we added those into our course outlines to ensure that we are following those updated standards. So the approval would be that we revise those documents, and they just need to be reapproved by the board.
Okay. Is there any questions? It's an action item, we'll entertain a motion.
Motion to approve the social studies curriculum that's been presented.
Second. A motion and a second, any discussion? Hearing none, roll call please.
Mueller,
Yes?
Greenway,
Yes.
Shield,
Yes.
Sarda.
Yes. Okay, item number 9, our audit. It's time to go over our audit with Graham Ford.
Yes, thank you. I'll keep things brief here, as I know you guys have a busy night, but, yeah, so we're gonna talk here briefly about tonight, and I think the board has a copy, it looks like, and the copy on the screen is the audit report for the fiscal year ended June of '24, so we're going back in time here a little bit. But I just wanna go through and hit a few high points, but, would be more than happy to field any questions the board or Shereen or anybody may have as we kind of work through things. And also want to make sure that I point out to thank Shereen and her staff. It takes a lot of time and effort to get all the information put together and get the information that we require to audit these financials and you know, at the end of the day, put this 130-page document together, and it takes a lot of their time. So we really appreciate all their assistance and the job they do. So. Again, I'll keep this brief, but I'd be happy to answer any questions. The first item, I guess I'll point out, is page 10, and that's our independent auditor's report. And that's the main outcome of the whole engagement. It's been going on for a number of months now, where we put an opinion on the set of financial statements. So as you can see in the second paragraph there, that in our opinion, the financial statements are fairly presented. So that's a clean, if you will, or unmodified opinion, no modifications or disclaimers or anything of that nature. A fairly presented set of financial statements. So good news there with nothing else to report. I usually like to point out on page 13, that's where management's discussion and analysis starts. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on that now, but it's a lot of good comparative information put together by Shereen and staff, where it compared to FY23 in this case to FY24, and discusses some of the changes between the 2 years and what was behind those. So if you're looking to just kind of see, as compared to the prior year, where are we, how did things go, that management's discussion and analysis starting on page 13 is a really useful spot for that. Hit a few spots on the financial statements here briefly. Maybe page 33 and 34 gets us to the end of the statements of revenues and expenditures for the governmental funds. Towards the bottom of both those pages, 33 and 34, you'll see a net change in fund balance. And that is, it's just like it sounds, that's for the year for the governmental major funds, which those 4 major funds are the general fund, the capital outlay fund, the TLC building project fund, and then the special ed fund, all qualify as major funds to be reported separately. As you can see there, the general fund, you know, had a small decrease of just short of $1 million in fund balance. However, you know, planned and on budget, you know, mainly due to a transfer to the self-insurance, health insurance fund, capital outlay fund, accumulated some funds to use for future projects. In the TLC fund, you can see a significant decrease in fund balance, which was as budgeted and as expected. Certificates were issued in the prior fiscal year to fund that building project. And then as you can see, a significant amount of those dollars got spent in FY24 is involved with that construction project as planned. So no issues or concerns there. And then special education fund, you know, a small increase in that fund as well. So no concerns, issues, fund balances or results or any of those kinds of items. Then briefly, the same on page 37, Shereen, is the statement of revenue and expenses and changes in that position for the proprietary funds. The district proprietary funds are the food service fund, and then the non-major proprietary fund is concessions, and then as I noted before, the health insurance fund. There again, all, you know, expected and small changes in net position, as you can see towards the bottom of the screen there. No unexpected results, I guess is how I put it. Any questions? I'm doing a lot fast here, but feel free to stop me. Again, starting on page 41 is the notes to the financials. I'm not going to dive into any specific areas unless you have any questions. But in there's a number of pages and a lot of detail on district accounting policies, details on the composition of capital assets, outstanding debts, pension plans, and all other natures of real detailed data related to those different areas. If you're looking to really drill into anything, those notes would be the place you'd want to do that.
Graham, anything significant you want to point out to us in all of that information that was concern or alarm to you?
No, I mean, concerning alarming, definitely not, no.
Okay.
No, as I mentioned, the financial results were fair, we had no, again, modifications to the opinion. When I get to the back here, we did have a finding, as we have for probably every year we've done the audit, as almost every other government audit, where we did have to propose a few journal entries, make a few corrections to the financial statements. And the way the auditing standards are written, if we have to make any corrections, the internal control over financial reporting must not be operating correctly, or my words, isn't perfect. Therefore, we have to report a finding. And as many of you that have been on the board for a while, we've had that comment for every year since I've been involved with the audit, which is, not meaning that Shireen or the district is doing a worse job or anything else, just, in the nature of the beast is, you're gonna have some corrections that need to be made in such a large financial statement, but no concerns or issues with that. That's a normal, in most government audits, I would say, you're gonna find that comment where some adjustments need to be made, so, nothing else. I think the last thing I'll point out, I'm not gonna go through it all, but I think it's a useful spot to look to kind of see district performance is the budget comparison schedule, start on page 64. And run through the various funds, ending on page 67. But just like it sounds, on those schedules, it takes the budgeted amounts, and if there's any amendments, reflects those as well, and then compares that to actually how did we do for the year, the actual result. So I find that very useful too if we're looking to see, okay, how did our year go financially? I think that a really good comparison or a way to measure that is how did we do for our budget. And those schedules start on page 64. From there, the statistical section starts on page 74. There again, I'm not going to jump into those, but there's about 39 or 40 schedules. They go through a huge amount, actually, of financial data, anywhere from comparing 10 years worth of financial statement data to demographics to property tax levies to kind of all things financially that affect the district in any way. Again, so there's 40-some tables there with a lot of data. I think one of the positive outcomes of compiling all that data is it does help the bond issuers, the bond agencies use a lot of that data for their analysis, and I think bodes well for the district in that area. The last thing I'll point out, page 120, is the schedule of expenditures of federal awards. And just like it sounds, that's a schedule that the district's required to present. And what it presents is, page 120. That schedule shows, like sound, all the federal dollars the district spent in FY24 broken down by the various federal program listings in the way that the federal government delineates them. And so, as you can see, spread through about a dozen or 15 different federal programs, the district spent a little under $5 million of federal funds in FY24 in a variety of different programs. The largest couple being the spending of ESSER dollars still in FY24, and then the child nutrition cluster, which is the funding for the school nutrition fund. But because the district spent over $750,000 of federal dollars in one fiscal period, they're required to undergo what's called single audit testing, which is additional audit testing that we perform above and beyond the normal financial statement audit to test the district's compliance with the federal compliance requirements that come with those federal dollars to say, okay, for this federal program, did the district spend it in accordance with those federal requirements? And we had no findings or issues report as a result of that testing. So, That was a lot in a short amount of time, but I'd be happy to answer any questions. Yeah. All right, thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, item number 10, we'll talk about oh, I'm sorry. I apologize, I'm trying to move on too quickly here. Okay, this is an action item.
Motion to approve the annual audit report.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Joe,
Yes.
Mueller,
Yes.
Greenway,
Yes.
Scarga.
Yes. Okay, now on to item number 10, summer food program.
Well, just like Melanie did, I did write my speech because I might get emotional about this, but I'm just so excited. I just wanted to tell you guys, thank you for allowing me to come speak about our summer food program. I do this every year, but I'm, like I said, really, really excited about this year. We are able to offer grab-and-go meals this summer. So when we distributed grab-and-go meals in the past during COVID, we were so surprised at how many families love this program. So when this became an option for South Dakota school districts again, we got right to work. Several factors went into deciding whether we should offer the grab-and-go or stick to the dine-in meal option. But when we discovered that we can also offer breakfast and weekend meals, that was a no-brainer for us. The decision was made. So like we have done in the past, we will have 2 distribution days per week. We'll distribute Tuesdays and Fridays. Tuesdays distribution pack will include 3 breakfasts and 3 lunches, while Fridays will include 4 breakfasts and 4 lunches. We will distribute out of our middle school cafeteria from 11 to 1 on those days, and summer food will run from May 30th to August 1st. Some little things different this year. If a child is picking up meals themselves, there's no need to sign up, they can just show up. However, if a parent wishes to pick up meals for their child, they do need to fill out a registration form. And this form is an easy Google Doc. It's found on the Child Nutrition website. We also have a flyer coming out tomorrow on our digital flyer format, Beach Jar. It has a QR code to get right to the school district website, and that's available both in English and Spanish. So lots of people can sign up there. We'll also be posting on the district Facebook page this week as well to try to get the word out to everyone. So with this program, and the reason why we're so excited is we realize that not everyone's summer situation is the same. We have, children are home with siblings or they're involved in activities. So we are so excited because we have designed our entire summer food menu to be eaten cold. So with, and half of our meals can be warmed with supervision. If students or children are home by themselves, parents might not want them to, run the stove or the microwave by themselves, so this is an option. They can still eat healthy foods with fruits and vegetables every day with no worries from parents. We're hoping this plan will help children heading out for summer activities and the busy schedules that summers are filled with. So far, we're excited to announce that we have about 500 children signed up, programs that have let us know that they're going to participate this year. And this is above the average of about 350 children that we fed last year for dine-in. So we're really excited about those numbers. We have a wide range of ages of children who have already signed up, from those yet not enrolled in the school district to seniors in high school. So we're hoping to feed a lot more children with this option. We think it'll be a great summer, and we're excited. I think I've used the word excited about 18 times, I'm sorry. But we are excited to be able to offer this program and also to partner with some other great programs in our community in conjunction with our summer foods. We'll have the Big Red Bookshelf from United Way again this summer, which is such a big hit. The Yankton Fire Department will also be on site on Tuesdays, and they'll give out free smoke alarms, and they also have some fire safety information for our kiddos. And we also always have information about the Yankton Community Library Summer Reading Program, which is so important. We always have that information available to our parents and students. But I just wanted to say thank you again for your support of our summer meal program every year. We love seeing the kiddos. My staff loves summer because it's a quieter, more relaxed time that we can actually chat with kiddos and we're not on such a time crunch, but this summer will be fun as well so that we can see a lot more kiddos. So, does anybody have any questions for me?
Yeah, I have a question. I know when you'd done it during COVID and it being a federal program or whatever, that the more that signed up was more beneficial to the district. Is that the case?
Of course, yeah. So this
So
is
it's something that people shouldn't be worried about signing up for.
Absolutely
It's
not.
good for the district.
Yeah,
for us to
yeah, the
have.
more people sign up, the better, yeah, and that way we get, foods and bellies, which is our big accomplishment. No, the more people sign up, that's better for everyone, so we're happy that it's a free program, 18 and under can come, so, like I said, no need to sign up, just hop on in middle school, so.
And it's,
Oh.
go ahead. Is it only the middle school, so there'll just be the one?
Just the one site, yeah.
On the back loading dock like we've
Right.
done?
Yeah, we'll use that back door right next to the kitchen door, yeah. And we're gonna have families come into the cafeteria. This year, there's the requirements are that we have to, check people off, so that nobody's getting duplicate meals. So that's one thing, we'll have our tablet and our laptop set up so that we can just, check families off as they come in. So that's just one requirement that the state is making us do this year, but an easy requirement to fulfill.
Laura, maybe I missed this, sorry. So the kids do not have to be enrolled in the school district?
No,
Is that correct?
it's community-based, so 18 and under, that's really the only stipulation that the state provides.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah,
So as long as the student comes in, there's no paperwork to fill out?
right, they can just pop in, grab meals for them and then to their siblings. All students have to come, we can't, if the brothers at home, my sister's at home, we can't do that, but, if parents come in, they sign up a consent form with, I have 5 kids at home and I'm gonna pick up 5 meals, and that's no problem.
Each time they come?
No, just run registration for the whole summer.
Any others? Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Have a great summer. I just urge for people to sign up for that program. Okay, item number 11 is School Finance 101. We're going to be talking about the preliminary 25-26 budget. Okay, so every time this year, we go over the preliminary budget, kind of where we're starting. This will be a process. You start now, then you revisit, you have our hearing, which we'll set tonight for July, and then you adopt it in September. So this is the beginning of just going over kind of the different numbers for each of the funds. You see that? So here I have on the screen, it's the finances for the 2025-26 school year. And so you'll see them itemized.
Sherry, can you make that larger?
Where do I need that one? Can you see that better?
It's in.
There, that's good.
Can you
Is
see
that better?
that?
Okay.
So you'll see along the top, you've got the general fund, capital outlay, special education, impact aid. Food service and concessions. And then you'll go down and it kind of lumps them together for non-public school, 52,625 is budgeted, and then so forth. They'll go elementary programs, middle school programs. It kind of lists the different kind of preschool services, programs for special education, which will be in the capital outlay and special ed. Then you go all the way down and it'll show you curriculum services, computer, it just kind of breaks out the different areas of the budget. And you go to the bottom, continue on, and it will tell you with the grants and stuff, expenditures will be 27,498,97 for the general fund. I know I went through that really fast, I just don't know how detailed you want it as far as each item. And then capital outlay, whatever applies as far as the different expenditures there, so you'll see this big one, the debt services, so that's starting to pay off our bond, our loans that we have. And then that capital outlay is 6,908,490, and again, this is just the finance part. The other worksheet I show you is the revenues.
I'll show you that in a minute. The next category is special ed, 6,463,337. Impact aid, we get 50,000. Food service, 2,398,981. And then concessions, 126,40. So this is just kind of the budget to start with. And then you have here your means of finance, so your revenues. And I'll go over to, again, it's the same concept. You've got your general fund, capital outlay, sped, impact aid, and food service and concessions. The different, you got taxes. We do get some tuition, earnings and investments, public activities, so our games, 1,700 is where that kind of goes, all the different kinds of games and stuff. Other revenues. Continue on, state aid, predicting 12,710,089 as far as general fund, and then sped 1,973,655. All the way down, then you have our federal sources, so our grants, our Title I, Title II. And then down here, your revenues, expenditures have to meet your revenues. So you'll see here, this is the reserve from the cash, from the fund to equal to 27,498.97. We're predicting 1,431,542 out of the general fund to support the budget. And then capital outlay 958,279. Sped 531,424. Another 5,000 to equal to 50 in impact aid, and then 265,24 for food service. And then there isn't a difference in as far as the concessions. It kind of does its own thing, makes its own revenue, and it's a wash usually. Do you have any questions? I know I did that very fast.
Public wants to see this document, we have it on.
It's on.
Okay.
It's listed on our board docs too. It's always here. It's attached, and so they're able to pull this document up and kind of go in detail with it. And you'll see this present itself a few more times throughout the school year next year. So, because you make a final adoption in September.
So it's on board docs, but is it also just like an easy icon when you first go to the website?
I'll have to look into that. I'm not 100% sure. So if not, we can make that an easy way to get to.
I want to say sometimes isn't this where we put like a hard copy in the library or something?
We can do that, and then right at the front here too.
Just so that people have an option to look at it. And just a reminder that the board has actually gone through this in detail, but we won't discuss, so if you don't hear any discussion, that's why we've already gone through it in detail and gone over that.
Yeah, and then this meeting is just kind of set your budget hearing, which is July 14th at 5:15, which will be presented and approved. Well, presented and then for feedback from the public, sorry. Do you have any other questions?
No? Okay, so this is an action item, I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to set the budget hearing for 5:15 PM on July 14th, 2025 here at the admin building.
Second. We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call please.
Greenway,
Yes.
Mueller,
Yes.
Shield,
Yes.
Sardis.
Yes. Okay, now executive session.
I'll make a motion that we move into executive session pursuant to South Dakota Codified Law 1-25-2, items 3 and 4.
Second. I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call please.
Greenway,
Yes.
Mueller,
Yes.
Shield,
Yes.
Sardis.
Yes, and we do not expect action to come from this. I declare us out of executive session. Our next item on the agenda is action on the executive session, and as expected, we did take no action. And our final is adjournment.
Motion to adjourn.
Second. Motion and second, any discussion? All those are in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. We are adjourned.
looking up at the board and it says it's 88 degrees still.
Hey, Sheila, if this would go to pier and we end up there in July, Sarah will be on board. Should we have Jacqueline come to this?
Nope, I was
Done.
just going home.
Just getting done.
Jacqueline?
Yeah, just, was at nursing home half a day and that, like half a day, so.
So you're
Too
done.
bad.
Wonderful.
If this goes into July.
Yeah.
Sarah won't be on board. We may have you go with, Kathy and
Okay.
then pier.
Okay,
So we'll want
See.
you probably to make this meeting,
okay.
sit in on this.
And when was this was gonna be June 18th?
June 18th, we're thinking. Good promise.
Wednesday.
I'm going to start traveling for work, so.
Yes, June. June, June 18th. That, I'll put it in
Yeah.
tentatively if we,
I'll take it.
well, I'll put in June 18th to be here for that regardless, just so I can sit in.
Yep.
Okay. And where is that?
It'll be, it's gonna be at the
High school.
Okay.
We'll be in the conference room, they'll be in the library.
Okay, it's like main entrance.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
What
No,
time?
but the stages are